Chapter 4 Day 1 0930 hours. Cameron should have been used to the notifications by then. What happened next, however, still nearly knocked him off his feet. Player Paul eliminated. Level 1 plus 50 experience. Kill assist. Player Sergey eliminated. Level 2 plus 100 experience. Achievement unlocked. No mercy. Congratulations! You killed a person who had been knocked. Plus 10 experience. Achievement unlocked. That one counts as mine! Congratulations! You killed a person who had been knocked by a teammate. Plus 10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Don't let your friends go down on you. Congratulations! You revived a downed teammate. Plus 10 experience. Your shotgun skill has increased. Current level, 2 of 20. Plus 10% damage when using shotguns. Level up! Congratulations! Your hard work, achievement hoarding, and kill stealing has paid off. You have reached level 3. You have obtained 1 stat nut, 3 ability nuts, 3 skill nuts. Please allocate your nuts wisely. Your health and armor have been replenished. Cameron sighed as the notifications vanished. The joy of his progression was overshadowed by the crippling depression he felt for no longer having killed just one person, but 3. He knew that murder was the way of things here and that he had to be a killer or else he'd be dead, but that didn't make it any easier for him. "Thank you, man," Hank whispered as he suddenly threw his arms around Cameron. "I thought I was a goner, dude. You fucking saved me." Cameron was surprised by the sudden yet earnest assault. "You're welcome." "Everything was just fading so fast," Hank explained. "Literally, the world was going dark, and I could feel my life just slipping away as if I were dissolving piece by piece. It was terrifying." He took in a deep, contemplative breath and shook his head. "It all just got, so real for me." Cameron let go of Hank, and the two stepped away from each other. Hank sniffled and wiped a few rogue tears from his eyes. Cameron, having sidelined his feelings of regret for the time, gave Hank a thin smile and patted him supportively on the back. "We're in this together now, man," Cameron said with a sincere tone. "I've got your back. Do you have mine?" "Of course," Hank whispered solemnly. "The only way to get out of this is together, right?" "Right," Cameron whispered back. The two barely knew each other, but they knew they couldn't survive alone. They needed to work together. Cameron's stat sheet suddenly appeared and prompted him to eat a nut. Name, Cameron. Class, unavailable. Unlocked at level 5. Level, 3. Experience, 405 of 600. HP, 100. AP, 5. Armor, 25. Statistics, Strength, 1. Dexterity, 1. Intelligence, 2. Vitality, 1. Skills, Unarmed, 1 of 20. Shotgun, 2 of 20. Light armor, 1 of 20. Primary gun damage, 1 to 42. Melee damage, 2 to 3. Carry capacity, 50 pounds. Run speed, 10. Stat nuts, 1. Skill nuts, 6. Ability nuts, 6. "You leveled up, right?" Cameron asked Hank. "Yeah, I'm level 2, Hank replied. "I just hit level 3, Cameron said. "About to use my nuts." Hank chuckled, and a thin smile spread across Cameron's face as he opened his inventory. "Okay, stat nut," Cameron said as he worked. He grabbed the stat nut and popped it in his mouth, thinking about intelligence again. He watched as his AP number shot to 10 and nodded. The thought of using his skill nuts crossed his mind, but he shook his head. He still wanted to save them for something that would actually help him long-term. What that was going to be, however, had yet to reveal itself.
"Wow, kid, you're really leveling fast,"
Grizzly suddenly said.
"Already level 3. That's amazing. Good job."
"Thanks," Cameron obligatorily mumbled.
"I should let you know,"
Grizzly continued,
"that you're in danger. You've killed 3 people in your area, thus increasing the activity of your area. People can see activity on the map, though they can't see who's causing the activity. Those looking for it'll be coming for a fight. I would advise relocating.
Hey, we should get out of here, Hank suddenly declared. I'm being told it's dangerous to stay here. Yeah, me too, Cameron agreed. He looked at the bloody bodies on the ground inside. They were wearing pieces of armor that he knew he could use. He hated that he felt the way he did, but he knew he had to follow Hank's way of thinking. He knelt down and examined them. Bandage ×6. Dirty leather vest ×2. Dirty leather boots. Dirty leather gloves. Light armor, level 2. Rarity, common. +6 armor. Bargain plastic knee pads ×2. Light armor, level 1. Rarity, common. +5 armor. Leather pistol belt. +5 carry weight. Allows quicker drawing of pistol. +5 armor. Rusty Ol' Westy. Rusty Quicks McPew-Pew. SMG, level 1. Rarity, common. 5 to 10 damage. 45 bullets ×7. 9mm bullets ×36. Help me get this stuff, Cameron called out to Hank. There's something for each of us. Take the bandages, a vest, one of the sets of knee pads, and the SMG and its ammo. I'll take whatever's left. Got it, Hank said. Cameron grabbed the boots, gloves, a pair of knee pads, the leather pistol holder, and the 7.45 caliber bullets. He worked quickly to equip everything. Health, 100. Armor, 48. He looked at his armor rating for a moment and furrowed his brow. How did it equal 48? That didn't seem right. He quickly looked over his armor, adding it up in his head, and realized it should have said 46. Grizzly, can you hear me? Cameron asked.
Yeah, kid, what's up?
It says I have 48 points of armor, but my actual equipment adds up to 46, Cameron said. How's that possible? Grizzly was silent. After a moment, he spoke.
I see. You got a point in your light armor skill. Each point gives you a 5% bonus increase to each piece of light armor you have equipped. That's why you have more armor than your equipment says you do.
Oh, Cameron thought silently to himself for a moment. He had 6 skill nuts. If he used them all on his light armor skill, he would receive a huge increase.
Also, bear in mind, if you equip all your armor slots with the same class of armor, like light armor, you'll receive a 50% armor efficiency increase. It makes a huge difference.
Oh, wow. Cameron realized he only needed a piece of armor to have a complete set of light armor. He thought more about using his nuts. So, if I used all 6 of my skill nuts right now on light armor, what would that make my armor rating?
Let me see,
Grizzly said. After a moment, he spoke again.
If you put all your skill nuts into light armor, that'll give you about 62 armor points total.
Cameron opened his inventory, grabbed his skill nuts, and tossed them all into his mouth. He thought of light armor as he ate them. Achievement unlocked. Nutting too soon. Congratulations! You used more than 5 nuts in the same category. +10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Good with his nuts. Congratulations! You used your first skill nut. +10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Achievement Group 2. Congratulations! You have earned 10 achievements. +50 experience. Achievement unlocked. Nut Progression 1. Congratulations! You have used 5 nuts. +10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Getting good at something. Congratulations! You have invested 5 points into a single skill. +10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Can maybe survive a fight. Congratulations! You have obtained at least 50 points of armor. +10 experience. My God, there are a lot of achievements in this game, Cameron said to himself.
Achievement Simulator 1.0.
Grizzly chuckled.
That's what we call it sometimes here at the office. We have a shit ton more achievements to implement in the update for Season 2, but for now you get what we put into it so far. Anyway, you need to get your ass moving. Staying here any longer is going to get really bad for you.
Okay, Cameron looked to Hank. You ready, man? As ready as I'll ever be, I guess. Great. Cameron took a breath to find his courage and then nodded. He picked up his shotgun and walked to the door. The two hurried out of the shack and back into the woods. The sun shone through the forest canopy, and the sound of gunfire and the occasional explosion could be heard in the distance. Cameron was pleased to find that none of the combat seemed near them and turned to Hank. "Where should we go?" he asked as they started putting distance between themselves and the shack. "How about north?" Hank asked as he turned around and pointed beyond the shack. "I saw mountains that way earlier. There may be some good cover, and I doubt too many people are there. Nobody likes climbing mountains." Cameron gestured for Hank to lead the way. Soon enough they were crunching through the leaves and twigs of the forest floor, well on their way to the mountains in the north. "So, have you decided what you're going to specialize in yet?" Hank asked as the two walked side by side through the forest. "I mean, you're almost at level 5. "I've been focusing on intelligence," Cameron answered, briefly glancing at his AP. "My guide says that an intelligence build would use elemental skills like fire, lightning, or ice magic. For some reason, that seemed appealing to me." "Yeah, I picked dexterity," Hank said, scratching his mildly rotund belly. "My guide told me that it would make my gunshots stronger, make me run faster, and that I'd be able to find crafting items easier." "Crafting items?" Cameron asked. "What do you mean?" "Like ingredients," Hank explained. "Apparently the dexterity people find ingredients for the intelligence people. Intelligence people can turn them into items like medicine, armor, weapons, whatever, I guess." "I didn't know that part." Cameron thought it over. The idea of creating his own items sounded intriguing enough, he guessed. The whole scavenging thing got on his nerves, though. If he could just make his own stuff, that would make everything more enjoyable. "I guess we're a good team then, huh?" Hank asked with a snicker. "I'll find the ingredients, you make the shit. Wiener Boys forever!" "Oh God, I forgot about that name," Cameron groaned. "Can we change it or something?" "I don't know, but why would you want to?" "Because it's stupid, Hank," Cameron said with a shake of his head. "I don't want to be a wiener boy." "Well, that's too bad," Hank chuckled, "because that's exactly what you are right now." The duo continued walking and occasionally chatting for nearly an hour. While initially they were a bit hostile toward each other, they were quickly learning that they could be friends. They enjoyed each other's company, seemed to appreciate similar things, and they were determined to stay alive. "So, do you think you had a family in your life before all this?" Cameron asked. "I mean, I at least had a mom and dad," Hank replied with a chuckle. "I think everybody's got those, right?" They stopped at the sudden cracking of a twig close by. They looked at each other, fingers wrapped around triggers as they scanned the area. Cameron's heart pounded faster as his voice fell silent. His body began to tremble and his weapon shook in his hands. Fighting made him feel terrible. It overwhelmed him with anxiety. The fear of dying was petrifying. He found it difficult to move every time he was thrust into combat. "Relax, buddy," Hank whispered as the two kept their eyes peeled. "No gunshots yet. I don't think it's anything. Well, at least it's not anyone with guns. Otherwise we'd be dead." Cameron knew Hank was right, but the low growl that suddenly came from somewhere nearby did not make him feel any better. Guns, growling, neither were easy to swallow. "Watch out!" Hank suddenly shouted. With one hand he pushed Cameron out of the way, and with the other he squeezed the trigger of his SMG. Bullets sprayed all over the place, and Cameron heard a high-pitched whine. "Wolves!" Hank yelled as he spun to face the creature that had leaped at Cameron. He unloaded the rest of his magazine into it just as 3 more appeared. Cameron squeezed his trigger, blasting one backward. He racked his weapon and turned right into the jaws of another. The wolf clamped its teeth around Cameron, ripping into his forearm. "Fuck!" Cameron shouted. He tried to point his shotgun at the animal, but couldn't seem to get control over his weapon with just one hand. He let go of the gun's handle, allowing it to drop to the ground, and quickly drew his revolver. He jammed the barrel of the pistol into the wolf's eye socket and pulled the trigger, screaming with fury as he did. The wolf released its grip on Cameron's forearm as its brains sprayed all around him. The monster fell over, dead. Cameron found it interesting that the wolf had not damaged his health. His augmented armor had not even been reduced to 0. He felt satisfied with his choice to use all his nuts on light armor. "Where's the last one?" Cameron shouted to Hank. Hank shook his head, indicating he had no idea. The two looked around frantically, scanning the area for any movement. Cameron's heart felt like it was about to beat out of his chest. Fighting people was terrifying, but fighting animals was absolutely nerve-wracking. "Behind you!" Hank yelled. He opened fire just as the wolf dug its claws into Cameron's back. Cameron gasped in pain and fell forward from the force of the animal's body pushing down on him. He suddenly felt the beast's teeth clamp around the back of his neck. Screaming, Cameron arched his back, trying to shake the wolf off. It did not help, and Cameron caught a glimpse of his vitals. 80 health, 0 armor. Bullets from Hank's SMG tore into the wolf, and he charged forward and planted the toe of his boot into the creature's head. The wolf let go of Cameron's neck and stumbled off of his back. Hank blasted it with his gun one more time, and it collapsed, dead. "Jesus Christ!" Cameron shouted as he reached back up and grabbed his bleeding neck. "Is this place supposed to hurt like this?" "Hold still," Hank yelled at his friend. "I'll use a bandage on you." "You're gonna wrap a bandage around my neck?" "I mean," Hank replied. "Yeah? Just hold still. Quit being a baby." Hank knelt next to Cameron and dressed his wound. Cameron whined the entire time. "Not too tight, Hank," he hollered. "Don't choke me." "Boy, you're being a fucking child," Hank snapped as he slapped Cameron on the shoulder. "You're fine. Quit crying." "I just had a big-ass wolf try to rip my arm and head off," Cameron snapped with a high-pitched tone. "I think I can be a baby if I damn well please." "Well, hold still at least," Hank returned. He sounded frustrated, if not a little annoyed. He finished with the bandages on Cameron's neck and arm and stepped back. Cameron, in turn, sat on the ground and rested on his arms. A few notifications appeared. "Mangy Wolf, level 3, killed. Plus 12 experience. Achievement unlocked. Monster Hunter. Congratulations! You killed your first non-player life form. Plus 10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Medic. Congratulations! You received healing from a party member for the first time. Plus 10 experience. Achievement unlocked. Achievement Group 3. Congratulations! You have unlocked 15 achievements. Plus 50 experience. Pistol skill unlocked. Current level 1 of 20. Plus 5% damage when using pistols. Cameron summoned his stat sheet, curious as to how many experience points he had accumulated. It read 587 of 600. He was nearly to level 4. That softened the blow of having been thrown around so embarrassingly by the wolf. He pushed himself up off the ground and dusted his clothes off. Hank walked up to him, slapped him on the shoulder, and smiled. "We're making it, buddy," he said. "I just leveled up. I'm level 3 now. If we can keep up at this pace, we will definitely get through this thing." Cameron appreciated Hank's optimism and nodded his head in agreement. "Come on, man," Hank said. "We're nearly to the base of the mountains. Almost home free." The two walked in silence, crossing the tree line of the woods and stepped into the shadow of the mountains ahead of them. They looked up at the steep grade of the giant land masses, glanced at each other, and then began their ascent.